Hey, welcome back to RC3D. I'm Ryan. In today's video, you can probably guess from the title of the video, I'm going to be building a life-size Mimir head that talks and his eye lights up and things like that. It's completely 3D printed by me. I printed it off in about, hold on, just looking at the picture for scale. It's about 5 pieces. I originally had the idea of putting in a motion sensor. So I got one of these small motion sensors because I wanted to wire up the motion sensor to the soundboard. My intention with Mimir's head is to put a motion sensor in his eye, and I want it to light up, and I want that motion sensor to detect when a person's nearby to activate the soundboard. You've got to power the soundboard and you've got to power this at the same time. Now these are light sensitive, which isn't an issue because it'll be inside the print and it'll be dark in there, but just something's not working right with it. I tried to directly power the soundboard from the motion sensor and then connect the 2 wires that triggered the soundboard. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my other video on my soundboard and how I wire it up. I've got diagrams and everything in there explaining how I've done it. I'm probably not going to be going into a massive amount of detail because I've already got a video on my channel going into the soundboard, so you should check that one out. What I'm probably just going to go with, here we go. The idea is that I'm just going to wire up this lithium battery. That's 5 volts and it's rechargeable from this USB port. So instead of powering the soundboard on something like this, I don't need it. I can have a tiny little lithium battery, 5 volts, power up the soundboard, the amp that the soundboard's attached to, and the speaker and everything else, and the light for his eye. If you saw my last video on my Joker bust, that I'll throw up here now, that I can talk about this a little bit and hint at this project. So this is where I do the majority of my painting and putting together and things like that. I've got some unfinished projects up there that are my alien pulse rifle. If you're not a current subscriber, please consider subscribing to stay up to date and to support my channel. I'll be doing plenty more projects like this on my channel. I learn as I go, which is the best way. And I'm going to start putting it together now. Okay, Ryan here, just doing a little voiceover. So at this part I'm doing a little bit of wiring just to get things working inside Mimir's head. Not the way I wanted to, but it should still turn out okay. So I'm just wiring up the on and off switch here. I believe it's the momentary switch that's going to cycle through his voice lines that I've made and set up for the soundboard. Here you can see I've got the small USB rechargeable socket on the bottom of the motion sensor because I'm going to be using this battery to power everything inside of his head. And it's going to be rechargeable, so I'm got to be messing around with changing batteries and things like that. So this is one that I've prepared earlier. As you can see, they're the same. I've wired up a positive and negative to the lithium battery onto a on and off switch so I can turn it on and off from outside of the head, so I'm not constantly draining power. And it's all wired up through to the soundboard and the speaker, just like I did in my video for the soundboard. I won't bore you with this bit. This is just me sorting my wires out and shrinking them and stuff, so I'm gonna fast forward through this and I will see you at the end of the video. So there's my Mimir head from God of War, all 3D printed. So the pieces are 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the back piece was 5 that you saw me putting on in the video. His skin, I haven't tried to paint and replicate skin before. This was the first time. I figured mixing burnt sienna with ivory or buff titanium, because skin's not pink, is it? It looks it, but it's not. I mixed those two acrylic paints together, and then I kind of did like a dry brushing with a burnt sienna. This is quite dark, so I did lighten this up a little bit with a bit of white, just to bring it down a little bit. I did this part off camera just because I kind of forgot. So on the back here I've got the button, so I've pressed that. His eye comes on. Which I think is pretty cool. It really brings him to life. I think on YouTube I found all of his voice lines. Like nearly, I think like 2 hours worth of voice lines. I downloaded it and I've cut it all up into kind of quotes, but I've spaced them out in gaps. So basically what happens is I've got a momentary switch. Now if I turn this on, just press the momentary switch, he'll play about 3 minutes of a voice line, and I've got 15 minutes worth of voice lines on it, and they're all randomized. So 3 minutes will be, I don't know, well, I'll stop and I'll just press the button. So I'm holding him close just in case there's
something on your mind?
Just in case it's a little bit quiet with a microphone.
I'm fairly certain I don't want to know. If I may.
He's going to say something. He's going to say something really profound now. Clears his throat, and then.
When it comes to subverting prophecy, knowledge is power. Without the full picture and context, the finer details can lead you to tragically incorrect interpretation.
Yeah, so I'll kind of set him up so he clears his throat, and then you know something's coming from him that's, you know, typical Mimir.
Prophecy, which after our time with the norms we've all had quite enough of.
When he's done talking,
What else did you expect from the smartest man alive?
when he's done talking, he'll say, "I'll talk later."
We'll talk later.
There you go. He said, "I'll talk later." That means his voice lines are done. So I press the momentary again. It will randomise another 3-minute segment of dialogue that I've put together inside of it. So I'll let him run on a little bit. I modelled this. This is a hang.
Oh, if that was necessarily the
Mimir's
best
hanging
lesson,
got a
but,
wall. It needs painting up, but I made this to hook him on, so you can sort of hang him on the wall. And he's got his own. He's got his own little perch. I might stick him up here on the wall or something.
I beg your pardon?
Oh yeah, this is the one with the farts.
Brother, that smell. You've developed a bit of a stench, it must be said.
I feel like Shakespeare holding him like this.
If I had a stomach, it'd be twisting right now.
He complains a lot in this one about bad smell.
Oh, I can smell that carcass from here.
Anyway,
The effects here appear far more gaseous in nature.
thanks for watching.
Observe the aforementioned aroma. These effects were present before in some form, but now there's new extremity to them.
Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.